According to a recent report by the Texas Tribune in partnership with the Military Times, National Guard troops who have been deployed to the border as part of Governor Abbott's Operation Lone Star could owe thousands of dollars in unexpected federal taxes. Joining us now to talk about this and further explain is James Barragán with the Texas Tribune. Thanks for the time this afternoon.
Of course, good to be with you.
This all stems from a problem with the payroll system. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, the payroll system that the Texas Military Department was using to pay troops on Operation Lone Star is designed to pay out wages once a month. But for this mission, they switched it to pay out twice a month, bi-monthly checks. And that has led to the issue that we are seeing now, because that has led to a withholding of less federal taxes than was expected. And so now the service members who are down there may be on the hook for hundreds or even thousands of dollars in unexpected federal taxes because the withholding was wrong.
So when did the troops, the service members who were affected by this error, find out there were issues with their checks? And is it at all strange that this wasn't brought to light sooner?
Well, I think it's very strange that there hasn't been some public acknowledgement from the Texas Military Department, from Governor Greg Abbott, from many of our state leaders that this issue was happening. Ideally, you'd want to inform service members and their families, and also the service members who have already gone home from the mission, that there was an issue and that they may need to pay unexpected federal taxes. We hadn't heard that. Service members said that they had been complaining about the withholding since January of this year, but had been told that, hey, it's not a problem, kind of brushed it off. But the Texas Military Department told us that in July 2022, this July, they realized that this was an issue, and that since then they've done everything in their power to notify service members, to inform them about the issue. However, we have heard from some service members who have gone home from the mission already who said they hadn't heard a thing.
Wow. So have the governor, the National Guard, the Texas Military Department come up with any solutions at this point?
Well, there is no immediate solution. The solution will be to switch the pay system back to once a month payments. And that's going to start in January 2023. But for the rest of this year, there isn't a whole lot to be done. And I guess service members will just have to sort of factor into their budgets that they may see a hundreds or thousands dollar tax when tax season comes around.
According to your report, there's at least one state legislator now proposing the Texas Military Department resolve the issue, and if they can't fund that with the money, that error should be paid for by the state's $27 billion surplus. Any chance that happens?
Well, that statement was made by State Representative Alex Dominguez, a Democrat from Brownsville, who's been very involved in Operation Lone Star and critical of the way soldiers have been treated on the mission. However, I don't see that actually happening. There hasn't been any statement from the governor, speaker, or lieutenant governor's office to that effect. They've already said that they want to use that budget surplus for things like reducing property taxes. And so I don't see that happening, but it is one idea that has been floated out by the state representative, who, it has to be noted, is an outgoing state representative and won't be back for the next session.
All right, final question, James. You said they don't plan on changing things, at least the payroll system, until January. So these troops that are there serving now and the ones that have already returned home are on the hook for this until January?
Well, of course, the federal income tax season comes next April, right? And so that's when service members can expect to see the withholding error and potentially see hundreds or thousands of dollars on their federal income tax. But yeah, until next year, until January, that's when the solutions will be coming from the Texas Military Department.
James Barragán with the Texas Tribune. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you so much.